Hello, my name is David Weir. I own JD Cable Construction with my father, Jerry Weir. We also have a sister company up here, Elite Underground, that is owned by me and Jamal Belt Daniels, and we're bringing internet service to your area, and I'd love to show you how we do it. You're probably wondering why all this equipment is actually on your street, and what it's there for, what it's actually doing, and why there are holes in your yard. As we're coming through your city or your town, you're going to notice holes popping up everywhere. You're going to notice, especially when we're spotting utility lines, you'll see paint on the ground, marks in your yard, and you're wondering, what in the world is this in my yard? Why are they painting up my neighborhood? What that is your utility lines. They mark it for us, and it's called 811, and they actually come out and mark your utility so I do not hit them because I'm digging or I'm drilling underground. If I don't have those marks there, I will hit it. Every yard has a utility easement. It's usually from the road. It'll come up in the yard. It can come up in the yard 10 to 15 feet. We stay in the utility easement. It's owned by the city. As far as our cable company, they pay for rights and have permits to come into your yard to bring communication and internet to your area. This might be intimidating, and when you come home, you see one of these machines in your yard, and I understand. But as I said before, we do have the city easement, we do have city rights to come here and actually be on your property. We take every precaution available to make sure we don't damage your driveway, or we don't crack your driveway because this is a bigger machine, or even scuff it up. Afterwards, we bring a pressure washer, we pressure wash the scuff marks and make it look like we weren't even here. And I understand you're very curious about why this machine's in your yard, what this machine even is, what it does, or how much it's going to affect your day-to-day. Usually we try to get out of here within 1 day. It may last at least 2 days, but we try to get out of your hair as quick as possible, less inconvenience as we can possibly do. But we like to, get in, get out. But we also care about your safety. So if you do approach one of these machines, please come to the front so the driller can see you. He can turn the drill off or actually step off the drill to come meet you. Please don't approach the drill because we don't want you getting hurt or falling into a hole or getting caught in one of these gears. We don't want that at all. So I'd rather if you do approach from the front, our people would get off and address you immediately and answer any questions that you might have. This is a Vermeer D 2022. This is actually a horizontal drill, so it'll actually go down in an angle and come up. There's an actual bit. It's actually curved. If you looked at it, it would be like curved up. So these drill rods, what they do is they hook up to one another and you push them into the ground. These rods, they bend, believe it or not. And he's able to direct it with his locator. We use a Mag 9 as our locator. What the bore logs are, it actually pinpoints each location and tells me the depths. There's a transmitter inside the bit that actually transmits to his box. And then I actually have a display over here that actually lets me know where I need to be at, because he'll actually tell me, hey, he'll show, he has a little paint can that he actually paints to the ground, and he'll look at the direction it's going and tell me what direction I need to go.
So we want to make sure that we're hitting 30 inches or thereabouts when we hit that hole. And right now it's telling me I'm 4'10" back behind me, because I'm in front of the head right now.
But as far as going into the ground and coming up, that's how you do it.
There she is. Stop. Back up.
As we reach our destination with this drill and we actually get to the spot where we're actually going to pull the product back, we actually hook up what it's called is actually, everybody calls it a doohickey because no one knows what it is, but it's actually called a swivel, and what it does allows me to rotate in case as I'm pulling back, if a rock falls in there, I can actually rotate to actually break up the rock and actually pull it back. It ensures that if something does happen in the ground that I can't see, that I can rotate it and not damage the product or break the product off, and I have to restart the shot again. If I'm racking out 400 feet, It should take about an hour. That's shot out and pulled back. As far as, this isn't the only form of underground construction, or only for boring is what they call it. There is another form. It's called missiling. Literally, it looks like a actual missile in the ground. And what it does is they'll dig pits, each probably about every 35 feet. And once they stick it in the ground, they use a compressor and it'll actually hits under the ground. Almost like a hammer, a jackhammer under the ground. It can be loud, but as far as getting the job done, they can actually do better in subdivisions because it gets it done quicker. They're done the same day. As the missile actually pumps through the ground, they'll pull the missile out. There will be several pits open in the actual subdivision. Don't be alarmed. Once again, it'll be cleaned up. It'll be put back the way it was. But as that missile goes through the ground, it leaves a hole, and they actually string out the conduit in the gutter, as you can see, running down your actual sidewalk. But as they pull it, they'll actually take it and actually pull it through the ground. They actually hook a rope to it, and they'll actually pull it through the ground by hand. Sometimes they'll hook a truck to it. Don't be alarmed, once again, just to get it through the ground. Because once they actually start this process, it'll take no more than 30 minutes to an hour to get it done. And then after the conduit's in, they're already closing up those holes and getting it cleaned up to where it was. We really clean and do our job when on the cleanup side, because it is a little bit more digging on the missile side. So we're very conscious about the disturbance we have created and also putting it back the way it needs to be. Once the product is here and we've got it pulled back and the machine's gone and we've cleaned it up and there's a conduit stubbed up here, there's going to be gentlemen that come back to actually set the structures. We call them PEDs or even pole boxes. Some will be actually up above the ground, and there's some that are actually going to be level with the ground. What those structures are for is for the fiber. Once the structure is set, there's going to be another group of guys that come back and pull your actual product in, your fiber, or your coax, whatever they're putting in the ground, to actually run the service to your house so you can have internet or even cable TV. In the meantime, you may see conduits sticking up out of the ground. It may take a week. Hopefully not too much past a week. Sometimes it'll take 2 weeks for somebody to come out to actually set the structures. But once the structures are set and the fiber's in, then you can call and actually get service to your home. I have several crews that'll be all the way around your town. And you'll know it's us by this logo right here, the JD logo. There will be other contractors in your town. Our biggest motto for JD Cable Construction is just quality before quantity. And we live by that in everything we do. And that when we leave a neighborhood, I love it when I see you can't even tell where this machine's been. Our job and our goal is to restore it to the way we found it and how it was found. Whether that's either getting more sod, if the sod really didn't take or it didn't do what it was supposed to do. Most of the time we leave you our company cards to ensure that you feel secure that we're going to come back and actually take care of your yard or take care of your property, because we're the ones that disturbed it. We just ask that, as we come into your area, that we want to keep everybody safe, including my guys. So when you see the cones and you see the signs, just take heed. Just take heed to those warnings, because we're just letting you know that we're here, and we really appreciate when people do understand that we're just, we're here to provide a better service for you, or even a more competitive service than what you already have and what's already provided. So thank you. As careful as we are, sometimes we're going to hit stuff we shouldn't. Obviously, no utility wants me to hit them. That's the biggest thing out here, and being in the neighborhoods is being safe. So in any case, the worst thing is us striking either a sewer or a water line. The inconvenience part of our job. It's not that it's not going to happen. It's inevitable. We're going to hit stuff, even if most of the time it's because it's not marked and we don't know it's there. There have been situations where we've struck a sewer line, and biggest indicator, when you strike a sewer line and it starts backing up, you hear gurgling in your drains, or you'll start taking a shower and it's not really wanting to drain. You guys need to contact the plumber immediately to see what the problem is. If we have been there recently, most of the time, I'm not going to say 90%, but about 80% of the time, it is us. When we strike sewer lines, sometimes it won't happen for 6 months, depending on how bad the strike is. Now, if we come right through it, it'll stop up real quick and you'll know within the next day. But there are some times we've had it in the past where it was 6 months down the line and they didn't notice it until it really got packed in there. We've had to come back out and fix it. So when a sewer is actually hit and you actually have a plumber come out and actually camera it, take photos. Take photos of the damage itself, the plumbers can actually have a camera that takes pictures of the damage itself, because that'll actually help you in trying to get it fixed and you're not having to pay for it, come out of pocket. Especially dealing with any other contractor other than us in here, or even with a cable company that contractor's been gone for 3 to 4 months. And you didn't notice that this thing was backing up until now, because finally it started really getting bad in there, or it broke even more. So it'd be good to have those photos and those things so you can actually fight and get your sewer fixed and it's not coming out of your pocket. And our whole goal is to come in, do our work safely, leave your property the way we found it, and also provide you with a better service. So now that you know what we're doing in your neighborhood, if you have any questions, concerns, please feel free to come up to one of my guys or anybody that actually has a high vis on to ask any of the questions you have, as long as you're doing it safely. But if you really have any other comments or concerns, you can go to my website at www.jdcableconstruction.com, or you can just contact the number on your screen.